Hello and welcome to the PlusX DayFund Strategy Update for September 2nd, 2022. Let's get right into it. What's our strategy this month? Well, we're shorting the market. Why? Let's pull up some facts. Here we go. Bitcoin monthly average returns since 2013. September is a sea of red. Even when September didn't dump in 2015 and 2016, that was only up 2%, nothing, then 6%, nothing with a side of nothing. This is clearly a no-brainer. September is most likely bearish, especially this year in this horrible macroeconomic environment, the likes of which Bitcoin has never seen. The chance that Bitcoin dumps is very high. But wait, I can hear you saying, what if Bitcoin's dump in September is already priced into the market? Let's get serious here, folks. Let's move on to the other pieces of Confluent. What do we have next? The massive Ethereum Classic and Matic pumping from June and July. Let's take a look at those charts. Here we see Matic. Huge 215% move up. That caused 16-fold returns on Matic Bull, which is one of the leveraged trading tokens that has massive leverage built into it. So there's lots of leverage built into crypto when you have big pumps like this. This move up was 16x of leverage. And in the orange bar pattern, you can see the move from last July into the dump that started September 7th of last year. That was 47 days. And you can see how long we're in this till now. 75 days. And this thing is ripe to finish dumping down to the orange support line, reversion to the mean. So those are our two key pieces of information. These altcoins that are way overinflated, and September coming in, and 30% room to drop to this support line, reversion to the mean, very common. And here's the third piece of Confluence that we're looking at. We've recently started looking at lunar phases. The full moon is on September 11th, and you might be screaming, bloody astrology, turn it off. No. Well, we don't believe in astrology, but we can see that for years and years in history, and including May, June, and July, price tends to dump into a full moon slightly before or slightly after, sometimes right on it, and then pump up from the dump. In June, dumping into full moon and past it, and then pumping out of it. And the inverse is true for the new moons, pumping into it and dumping out of it. So this should act as a magnet, pulling the price down to the full moon, towards the orange support line, towards reversion to the mean, all of which would be totally acceptable and reasonable to expect, especially after 75 days over the statistical average for this kind of pump and dump. So let's take a look at the Ethereum Classic chart now. That was also the strongest pump in June of all the major coins. Here you can see a massive move, more than 265% up from the bottom. And the move in the background in the faded orange color is a similar move by Ethereum Classic that took place in late 2019. And that actually started dumping almost in lockstep. So this fractal, very fascinating indeed. And then we can see that it just dumped into the abyss over here. But that's because that was the Corona dump. We don't need to expect that to happen. But we can expect reversion to the mean, 30% down to the orange support line. And same thing, full moon dragging the price down to there. No guarantee it'll go all the way to the orange line on September 11th, but at least part of the dump should be happening by September 6th or 7th for a few days into the full moon. What else is going to make this bounce? Well, on September 13th, just, 2 days after the full moon, we got the CPI numbers coming out, Consumer Price Index, one of the most popular metrics of inflation that people go by. And it's probably going to be a market setup for a volatile bounce out of full moon. So that's a typical common setup. I can totally see that happening. Let's summarize then. September, bearish as hell for almost every year of Bitcoin's history. Now, 75 days of inflated altcoin prices, especially Matic and Ethereum Classic. 75 days, significantly longer than the statistical average. And they haven't even reverted to their means yet. So there's 30% dump easily in play for those two coins and many others like them. Full moon likely to suck prices down towards the 11th of September, setting the market up for a big volatility bounce on the CPI data on the 13th, plus the ultra bearish macroeconomic environment, the likes of which Bitcoin has never seen. All those factors driving our decision to short the market and to long the full moon with stop losses in place, of course. Trade safe, everybody. Thank you. Take care.